Turning up like you always do. Head to toe covered in tattoos. Sooner or later you're gonna come loose. What the hell are you gonna do?
Yo, it's NotAHero, and welcome back to my channel. And this is the Bingo Book 2019. And what that is a review of all the anime that's coming out this 2019 winter season, and which ones I'm going to be reviewing personally, and which ones I'm going to be watching the first episode on, and which ones I'm going to pass on. So I hope you guys enjoy the video. We have a lot to go over, so let's get started, right? Boom! So this anime is the second season of the first season that happened in 2017, I want to say. It came out and pretty much is just a story revolving around 5 different anime Lolita bands and pretty much what they do as they go around their slice of life type of different things and compete against each other to be the best band in the world. So the first season focused on this band called Poppin' Party, and I guess this season's going to focus on the rest of them. But literally it's just pretty much anime Lolita girls doing what anime Lolita girls do. So, pass. So this next one, as soon as I saw it, it immediately reminded me of Boogiepop Phantom. If you've ever seen Boogiepop Phantom, you know what I'm talking about. So the story is essentially about this myth of a Shinigami called Boogiepop. And essentially what happens is that a bunch of girls in the town start going missing from this local high school, and then 5 students from that high school decide they want to be the fucking impromptu Scooby-Doo gang and then solve the murders, but they get in and take a bite out of more than what they bargained for, because they come into a world of supernatural fights and just random mysteries and just death. And one thing I learned about Boogiepop Phantom, if this is anything like that, then nobody is safe. Everybody dies. No one is safe. Like, people are dying left and right. You thought Death Note was crazy with people dying. If this is anything like what I'm used to, then shit, we're in for a ride. So essentially it's going to be a lot of supernatural fights. It's going to be a lot of just action, hopefully, but there'll also be that mystery thrown in. But I'm definitely going to give this a watch. I'm definitely going to review it. So I'm definitely going to be a part of that. So this next one is more of a action sci-fi. It was done by Tatsunoko Productions, who also did Yatterman and Time Bokan. Essentially, the story is about this girl named Yuki, who is a 12-year-old princess of her kingdom planet. And essentially what happens is that she meets these knights, or this one knight from a different era kingdom that's nearby, who is the pilot of this fake Gundam Nightmare God of War type deal of a thing that they have in this series. So she meets her and she never smiles. I mean, she smiles, but she never laughs, whatever the fuck that means. But the girl is 17, the other girl is 20, so it's kind of like this weird Yuri, not pseudo pedo. I don't know. I don't know. That's not going to get too much deep into that. But either way, the whole premise is about her finding out why she never laughs, even though she smiles all the time, and what that smile cost. So it's going to be heavy on the mecha action, heavy on the battle, and probably going to be either a normal mecha anime or just some nihilistic character study, something like that. But either way, it's going to be a pass for me. So this one's going to be a comedy supernatural anime. It was made by Puro Plus, and you know what? Everyone knows the studio Puro. They're people that made Naruto and things like that. But their Puro Plus is their offshoot that's working on Boruto, and they also did the Yu Yu Hakusho OVA. But this is another sequel anime, and I believe this one aired in 2016. The first version of this anime. And this anime, essentially, humans and yokai demons, they coexist in this world, and essentially, the main human, he owed a debt because he's saved by an exorcist one day, and now they work together trying to guide like lost yokai back to their homes. So it's gonna be very Monster of the Week style anime. It's gonna be very like slice of life. So if you guys are into that, go for it. But for me, it's gonna be a pass. I don't know. Anyway, it's gonna be an action magic show, and it's definitely made by the same people who did Handshakers, Princess Lover. The studio's name is Go Hands. It's made by the same people that make K. If you ever seen K, and the K is like King of Colors and stuff. It was very shiny and flashy. The animation was like kind of weird CGI mixed with magical colors. I don't know. So the premise of this show is that essentially there's this pretty boy guy who goes around the town. He just lounges around most of the day, and when he doesn't lounge around, he works as a part-time DJ. I don't know what kind of lives these anime guys live. I wish I could just do nothing all day and then just go part-time job and still have money to do everything I want to do. But this kid pretty much goes and does DJing, but he's also makes videos, but he's afraid to post them online, so he posts them anonymously because he's a coward and can't do anything on his own, and he's afraid of criticism. So, but eventually one day he falls into a YouTube rabbit hole while in a cafe, and he sees that there's a live broadcast of this supernatural world where these kids are fighting with like powers and stuff. So he thinks, no, let me get in on this action. He jumps in and he's like, hey, if I can't be famous in the real world, I can be famous in this world. So, but to do that, because I'm such a piece of shit and I'm a coward, I'm gonna use someone else to get famous. Like, that's the problem with the Go Hands Productions. Like, even with Handshakers, with K, it's like they don't know what they want to do. They don't know. Like, they are the masters of saying nothing with a paragraph. Like, it doesn't make what is this even about? Pass. How clumsy you are, Miss Ueno. If you don't take anything from this video, read that manga. It is so funny. Like, it is the funniest shit. Like, normally this is not the type of anime I would go for. I don't really like gag anime or like romantic stuff like that. But this manga was so great because it's just so funny and so like insane about the limits that this girl will go to just to impress this guy. Essentially it's about Ueno, who's a high school girl, but she's also a genius inventor, and she wants to impress this other guy. So this guy that she has a crush on in school, but she is typical anime girl, typical tsundere, so she doesn't want to say anything to him. So her way of expressing her love for him is to make these wacky, insane inventions to convey to him that she's in love with him. And shit just goes to the left, like, really quick. So I'm definitely gonna watch this, definitely gonna review. Dororo! 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 I mean, it just sounds so funny to say, but I mean, it sounds funny, but this anime is gonna be dark as shit. Now, from first glance, steampunk Afro samurai all the way. I don't give a shit what anyone says. Steampunk Afro samurai, because essentially, I mean, first of all, it's gonna be an action adventure story. It's made by MAPPA, and MAPPA is famous for like Garo, Shingeki no Bahamut, Hajime no Ippo, Kakeguri, Ushio no Tora. If you haven't seen that, watch that. It's a great show. But they're famous for those weird shows. So the animation is going to be kind of like old-timey, but also newer. Like, if I had to compare it to something, Garo kind of uses CGI, but not really. But Shingeki no Bahamut, that's probably be the best art style to compare it to. So the story follows this samurai, or I guess Ronin in this situation, called Hyakimaru. And you think it would follow this dude named Dororo, but keep watching, because we have a ton of anime where the title doesn't really make sense, but in this case it does, because Bleach, Ichigo. Okay, but so we have Hyakimaru, and essentially he was born with no limbs. Well, most of his limbs being gone and taken apart. The reason why is because his asshole dad made a deal with the devil to sacrifice his unborn son's body parts so that he could be the best samurai in the West, or in the East, I guess. But like, who the fuck does that? Like, what? Who just pretty much fucks over their kid's life because they want to be the best samurai, and then ups and leaves? Fuck, his dad must have been black. That was racist. Okay, edit that out later. But anyway, some old doctor gives him prosthetics so that he can function, but instead of him giving him just like normal prosthetic arms, he also puts blades in them. So upgrade, I guess. So Yakimaru takes it upon himself to go get revenge, because who wouldn't? And as he grows up, he develops his sixth sense that allows him to detect and hunt demons. So he goes off on his quest to hunt all the demons that his body parts were sold to when his dad made the deal. Eventually he meets this bandit thief who's an orphan because his dad got ganked by the Shogun, and his name is Dororo, which title of the anime. So essentially it's going to follow Dororo and Hyakimaru's journey to find and kill Hyakimaru's dad. So it's definitely going to be a watch for me. This needs no introduction, even though I just gave one. But it's going to be Mob Psycho, season 2. So, yes, more yes, more yes. So, can't wait for that. This is going to be made by Studio Bones, so the animation is going to be on point. But just in case you're not on the hype train for a Mob Psycho or One Punch Man, the Mob Psycho, just a quick rundown, is just about this kid named Mob, and he is an extremely powerful psychic that gets overwhelmed really easily, and once he gets really overwhelmed, he explodes with psychic energy, which becomes pseudo-psychotic. But he just wants to live a normal life, but he can't because he's wrapped into all of these different things with like world organizations that want world domination, and then you have like people with hair complexes, and then you have other psychics that he discovers exist besides himself, and that just brings him into a whole bunch of mess that he really doesn't want. He just wants to live a normal life, get a girlfriend, be happy, but his life won't let him. So definitely gonna watch. Cute anime girls in the future who fight against viruses that kill otaku enthusiasm. Pass. Furries. They get lost in the park and have to find their way home. 12 episodes. Pass. 12-year-old girls falling in love with their college 20-something-year-old One-san, which means big sister. Say it with me now. Pass. Remember Keijo? The anime where the girls fight with their butts and boobs? Except this is made by Silverlink. Same people that make Strike the Blood. Skip! At first glance, this reminded me, when I first saw this, it reminded me of Kami no Mizo Shiro Sekai, where for you people that speak English and like are not weeaboos like myself, it means the world God only knows, or the world only God knows, which is a fantastic anime, fantastic manga. It's hilarious, but the difference there is that it's meant to be fantasy, it's meant to be humorous, while this, let me just tell you a synopsis. It's a real-life guy who plays dating sims and prefers 2D girls over real-life girls. So much so that he gets disgusted by real-life girls. So much so that he's in school, gets partnered with this other girl, so they take over pool cleaning duties, and this girl embodies everything he hates about real-life girls, and then it just becomes romantic. He falls in love with her, blah, blah, blah. We already know how the story plays out. Skip it. You gonna tell me that Kakeguri got a second season? Kakeguri got a second season. Let me tell you about Kakeguri, because some people probably don't know. Kakeguri is a gambler's wet fucking dream. Let me tell you, this anime is all about rich people crushing other rich people in gambling debts. It is hilarious, and you will see some of the most fucking disgusting orgasm faces. Not want to say orgasm, but like not orgasm with sex, but like orgasm with the orgasm you get, that nice warm happy feeling you get when you crush someone's soul in like Magic or Yu-Gi-Oh, or in a fighting game, or in Madden, when someone been talking shit all day, that orgasm, that level. Reviewing, watching, be ready. So I'm really interested in this one because it's gonna be It's an action, like fantasy adventure anime, and it's going to be made by Kanama Citrus. Excuse me. They're the same people that made Made in Abyss. So I'm going to be super interested in watching and see how this plays out. But a quick synopsis is that this guy named Naofumi, he essentially is transported to this fantasy world with 3 other strangers, and they all get weapons and stuff, become these legendary heroes in his land. But the only caveat is that Naofumi, he gets this weird title that everyone hates him because he's like the legendary shield hero. But that title comes to the fact that he can only equip the legendary shield. He can't equip swords or glaives or maces, anything like that. So he has to work with this shield, which causes issues when he tries to level up and gain experience. So eventually the other 3 strangers, they go off and do their own thing while he finds someone. Because of his title, he is like ostracized. People don't want to work with him. People don't want to try to help him level up. So eventually he finds this girl that wants to help him level up and help him be his friend. He finally finds a friend. Eventually a couple days or a couple years pass, and then he wakes up one day, his equipment's gone. His best friend has been, it wasn't really clear watching the POV, but it was like maybe she was raped, maybe she was killed. It wasn't really clear. It was kind of just like some girl in the back giving her like, I did something dangerous, at your expense, yeah. But like, it was weird. It was weird. But anyway, whatever happened caused him to be further ostracized and exiled from the town. So now he's on the run, being blamed for a crime he didn't commit. And now, instead of like a normal anime would play out where it's like, oh well, he just did this, now he wants to try to reclaim his former glory and see what happens to the girl. Fuck all that. Dude wants revenge. First thing dude does, he goes to the slave market, goes and gets a half elf slave so that he can use her to fight while he defends. So she has a perfect shield, he needed the perfect sword. And then the rest of the anime is literally about him getting revenge against those 3 strangers and the people that wronged him in this world. I definitely have to watch that. Watch. Kemurikusa. Excuse me. Kemurikusa. No, I just like saying that word, saying that name of his anime. But it's gonna be an action sci-fi anime. It's gonna be produced by Yakusoku. And I'm not really familiar with that production company. I looked around. I really didn't see anything that they've done previous to this. And also they was kind of very vague about this anime. Like all the production material I've seen for it has been very super vague. Like they didn't even have a POV. But based on what I've read so far, the story follows 3 like anime girls with supernatural powers fighting against bugs in a world covered in red fog. So that's something. One interesting thing to note though is that by watching some of the images, I got this Blood Blockade Battlefront feeling from it. And if you remember what that is also known as Keke Sensen, with the guy with the magical blue eyes who could see. I'm not actually, they weren't really clear what his eyes could do. I guess he could just see things that weren't supposed to be seen. Anyway, but I got that feeling from it. So I'm gonna give it a first episode, see what it's about, see if I like it, and if I like it, review. If I don't, pass. Remade Inuyasha. Sorry, that was me running from all the hate comments, but pass. Now, this anime, probably gonna give it a first episode, just let you know right now, spoiler alert. But it's pretty much an action sci-fi anime. It's produced by Shirogumi, which is a production company under Netflix. So Netflix has been popping out a lot of good originals lately, so I'm definitely gonna give it a first episode because I have the account, why not use it? But essentially what happens is it follows the story of this dude named Dojima and his 5 other friends, and when they were kids, they got into some trouble and got kidnapped, and they were saved by this lady from the future. But then she tells their main character, Dojima, that, hey, you're going to be important in the future. You need to take care of it and save the world. Like, make sure your guys are ready. He's like, all right, cool. He takes it to heart, tells his friends. His friends are like, fuck all that. I ain't saving nobody. And they grow up. A couple years pass. A fucking fissure opens up in the middle of Tokyo, and then they all fall through, come back up. It's 300 years in the future. Their mechs and like battle has ravaged the land. It's post-apocalyptic, and like it's up to them to save the world, and then they get blessed with like these mechs that only they can pirate. So it's kind of like anime Power Rangers, but not Power Rangers, but like anime Power Rangers. First episode. Somebody look at this. Somebody look at this. Somebody look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at it. I'm giving you time to rewind or look at the promotional stuff for this. What the fuck? An anime that is live action and animated? Really digging real deep in that asshole, ain't it? Girly Air Force. Pat. I'm kind of upset because I lost the bet on this one, because I bet my friend that Yakusoku No Neverland would never become an anime because it just was boring to read, and I lost the bet. So here it is. It's out here, and I don't personally like it, but I will watch the first episode to see if I will like it, because I didn't like the manga. It just wasn't my style. I mean, I feel like there's better out there, but it's out there now. I mean, it's going to be sci-fi fantasy thriller. It's going to be produced by Cloverworks, so we'll see what they do with it. But essentially what it is that it's a bunch of kids that are orphans, and they live in this orphan house where they get whatever they want, whatever they want to do. Only thing they have to do is that they have to take daily physical tests, and then they also have to make sure they're in great physical condition. And only 2 rules they gotta follow is don't go outside, exercise, do whatever the hell you want to. So until 2 friends, obviously, because you know these things can't ever say normal in anime, because otherwise how else is the plot gonna progress? They decide they want to take their happy asses outside to go get a toy for a new orphan, and they found out that shit ain't what it seemed, obviously. So, but it does take a turn, because they find out that the orphanage is not what it seems. It's more of a farmhouse. They're being raised as livestock, like cattle, for demons out here, because they are what demons consume. And so the kids freak out. They go grab their oldest member there, and they make a plan to escape all the orphans so they can live and be married. And that's pretty much the story. So we'll see how it pans out. But first episode. It's another harem anime, but quintuplets that are sisters. That's kind of what quintuplets mean, but anyway. Fast. Green's Notes. So it's based off anime game. Let's get that out of the way. It's going to be adventure, fantasy, anime, and it's going to be made by Brain Base, which they make the game. They make a lot of Japanese games over there. But pretty much it's going to be about, imagine if Red Riding Hood, Cinderella, Snow White, all those people were real people, and they all live in the world. And in this world, their lives are dictated by these people called storytellers, which are their gods. So when a person is born, they were given a book of fate, which is pretty much a book that details how their life is going to go out. Because just like our fairy tales, we know how the story's going to end before we can read it. So they have a book that they have to follow to live their life. But then there's this other group called the Chaos Tellers, who want to destroy that system, who want to corrupt what they know to be true, and then they just want to make sure that they wreak havoc and to just destroy things like chaos. Why not? But the story follows these 5 unique people who were born with a blank book of fate, because they can decide their own destiny and how they combat the Chaos Tellers and save the world. So basic 1, 2, 3 ABC of anime, but first episode. I'm upside down right now, but you can't know. Or you will never know. Or maybe you did know. Either way. Anime girls, they need to be sealed because they're too powerful, but to be sealed, they need to be kissed. By a dude, obviously. Pat. Pretty boy, anime, idols. Pass. Two high schoolers, they won't lose their virginities with each other. Or not with each other, with other people. But the best way to lose their virginities and not be less experienced is to be friends with benefits with each other. But that doesn't work out well. Who would have thought? I know these are starting to get lazy, but so are these anime ideas. Maho Shoujo. Anime girls who transform. Fighting against aliens. What happens after they're done fighting against aliens? That's what this anime is about. If Madoka Magica taught me anything, shit ain't gonna be what it seems. Pass. Here's a little ASMR for you guys. Mermaids that are idols. Pass. So this is going to be a fantasy series made by Cygames, the same people who made Shingeki no Bahamut before, the other series. But this series is going to focus on Naria, the world of magic. And there's a famous magic school there, but essentially what happens is that a prank goes wrong at that magic school, which causes a tear to rip open and unlocks the dark realm. So a bunch of demons come through and start ravaging the town. It's up to Greya, a dragon, and an Anne, a sorceress, to save everybody and figure out what happens. So it's going to be a first episode for me. So if you made it to the end of this video, thanks. You're awesome. I love you. You make me happy. You make me feel like a natural woman. Anyway, that's my review for the winter season, and everything I listed is going to be down below in the description box, and I'm also going to put it at the end of this video so you all can see it and know what to expect. I'm also going to try to review them as they come out, and at least when they come out, I'm going to put a video up that day or the day after. I also promised I'm going to be doing videos Monday through Friday, but I kind of overpromised that because I didn't realize how strict and time consuming this YouTube thing is. But I promise to get out at least 3 videos a week. At least 3 videos a week. But if you like what you saw, feel free to like, comment, and share. And comment down below. I just like saying down below. But if you guys have fun, let me know. I'll be here Monday through Friday. 3 days a week maybe. We'll see. It'll work out. We'll get there. Yeah. Enjoy the ride.